name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've been listening to Big Finish, and I'm happy to tell you. I'm ecstatic to tell you, in fact. It was a very good box set I listened to. I listened to The War Master, which are generally excellent. I mean, you put Derek Jacobi at the front of something, it's probably going to be quite good. The War Master, Escape from Reality. This is season 8, I believe. Season 8 of this series. I think probably one of the best, right? Really, absolutely probably one of the best. It is very Christmassy, and it's very... it feels special. It feels like tonight on a very special episode of The War Master. But it feels like special. It feels a bit out of the ordinary. Really, really good premise. Great performances. 2 fantastic scripts. And 2 scripts that were inoffensive. I would say inoffensive. They may float your boat more. I guess it's got to do with the type of literature you enjoy. Before we get into the review, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fantastic. You like a bit independent media, do you? We do like to be liked and shared and subscribed to. If you can hit the subscribe button, that'd be fantastic. It's Christmas, baby. It's Christmas. Be nice to each other. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Sign up to my Substack. It's my email newsletter in the video notes. I put a bunch of extra stuff in there. I put out-of-print books. I've been putting out the PDFs of the out-of-print Christmas short trip books, which is so sad they're out of print. For the life of me, I do not know why they haven't put out those short stories with a single reader as a book on tape. They got like lots of them. They could do a collection every year. I would probably buy that, right? They did that with Bernie Summerfield last year, and I didn't buy it. But I think with our Doctor Who collection, I probably would, right? I probably would. So, but, here's the thing. Nick Briggs doesn't like Christmas that much. Don't get me wrong. I love Nick Briggs. I think Nick Briggs is so important to Big Finish. Nick Briggs just doesn't like Christmas so much. I thought he would kind of get into it once he had a kid. But no, still bar humbug. Listen, socialism is just not fun, okay? So that's the biggest drawback with it. Just not fun. And you're surrounded by a bunch of anti-Semites normally as well. So, it's I wouldn't say the best place to be, but the best place to be for the War Master was the Land of Fiction. What a brilliant freaking idea, right? What a brilliant freaking idea. The War Master hides out the Land of Fiction. They could have done 10 box sets in this, so they all would have been brilliant. So as I said, before I get into the review, like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up my Substack, follow me on Instagram. Now let's get into the review, right? I think we covered everything, haven't we? Yes, we covered everything. Doink! Firstly, great cover. And a great title, Escape from Reality. A really, really good idea. So it starts off the War Masters being very War Mastery. And for me, this has become like the archetypal master. I've heard so many master adventures with Derek Jacobi, and they're all good, right? They're all really good. So the master is trawling a battlefield for Dalek spare parts and spare parts in general. And there's this wonderful scene as he's like cutting a Dalek open while he's still alive and just being so intensely evil, which I kind of enjoy. I like that sort of thing. And it turns out this was all a trap to get the War Master, so he escapes from reality to the Land of Fiction, and it is glorious, right? It is as good as he would have thought. And I think this is perhaps one of the best masters to do that with. Maybe Delgado, right? I'm amazed they haven't found somebody to do a Delgado yet, but maybe that. So let's have a look at the individual stories. So the first one is The Wrath of Medusa. Oh yeah, so this is by Shana Patel. I haven't heard anything she's done before, and this was, I think, the standout for from the box set. Let's see what else she's done. Right, because this is the War Master going into the ladder. So she didn't just done these 2. Oh, she did something in Blood and Steel, which I thought was excellent as well. What story did she do in that one? Because this was a good box set. Yes, she did the best thing. Okay, assuming it's a lady, right? Assuming Roshana Patel is a lady. I was wrong, by the way. Rossa McPhillips is a bloke, right? Because I liked his work as well, and I was upset with Big Finish because they were recruiting very, very heavily from women, and the quality went down. So this was in 2017, 2018, 2019, in my opinion, right? But my opinion happened to be the right one as well. And so, when you reduce your hiring pool and you maintain the output, the only result can be a lowering of quality, which is what happened. So I was like, oh, Russell McPhillips finally found a woman who can really write. He said, thank you for the compliment. I'm actually a bloke. So I'm sorry. So Roshana, if you're a bloke, I apologize. But this is a great freaking script, right? This is the War Master versus mythology. And it's really good because I like how avuncular and evil Derek Jacobi's master is, which he is. He's an avuncular uncle and deeply evil, as you saw at the beginning when he's torturing a Dalek, right? So crashing into the land of fiction, the master finds himself lost in the world of Greek mythology with a Dalek assault squad close behind. So he's using his knowledge of antiquity to find the best weapons there are in the land of fiction, and then use them against the Daleks. And it's great. I mean, it really. So you get he's trying to get the power of Medusa to turn Daleks to stone. You really get into a lot more about mythology. I don't know anything about it. My sister is actually a professor of classics, so I'm meaning to say this to her and see what she thinks, because for me, this really fleshed out the world of mythology to a great deal, and it worked because of the understanding of the source material, both the character of the War Master, that might be from Derek Jacobi's performance, which is excellent throughout, and an understanding of antiquity and mythology, which again, from my uneducated point of view, seem to be perfect and just wonderful. The first story is worth the price of entry alone. If you're going to get this one, though, get it quick before the price goes up. I think $25 is okay. When it goes up to like $35, I think it's too expensive. I really genuinely do. And it's not a dig at Big Finish. I don't think they make enough from their releases to cover cover their production. I think they probably have some more successful releases that cover the shortfall. Anyway, so that's the first story. The second story by Lizzie, hopefully least successful in there, as the Master plunges the inconceivable artifacts of an impossible universe. He encounters a figure that may prove to be his greatest threat, his own shadow. So this is from I don't even remember who it's from. It's a classic work of literature by. Is it Mark Twain? I can't remember. Wait a second. I can't see that's the problem with the story. It's basically a bit dull, right? It didn't maintain my interest. But okay, so it's an interesting idea. So again, I wish I could remember the novel that the literature that it comes from. But it was basically the Master discovers his shadow gains its own sentience, and he has a protracted cat and mouse game with them. With it, it's a bit dull, but Derek Jacobi's Master really shines. It would have made more sense if his shadow would have been the Master, but again, that I didn't know the story that it was riffing off. I think hurt it, and also just again wasn't that what's the word engaging, right? But things got a lot better with the first story, The Adventures of the Deceased Doctor by Alfred Shaw. This is excellent. Not quite as good as the Wrath of Medusa, but this is absolutely excellent. When Dr. John Watson is informed of his own murder, only the world's greatest consulting detective can assist. He just happens to come from a different world. So this is really, really good. And narrated by Richard Earle, who's the Big Finish's Watson, doing an excellent job. But a really genuinely horrific story as the Master assumes the identity of Sherlock Holmes, and he plunders the world of fiction for the different alternative versions of Holmes, which that made a very interesting meta reality, which I thought worked very well. Genuinely horrific as Watson perceives the reality of his own situation and gets more and more unnerving all the way through, right? Just absolutely excellent, right? I really love this one. And it finishes off with the most expected one, The Master of Dorian Gray by David Llewellyn. So this was started off by production credits by Scott Hancock. Scott Hancock, now a big mover and shaker for RTD2 over in Cardiff in the new Doctor Who coming out next year. And good news for that. So I think he had this script over to David Llewellyn, who isn't as talented. Not terrible, but isn't as talented. My major problem with this is this deals with why the Master leaves the land of fiction, and it does end up with Dorian Gray possibly getting the upper hand. We don't want to see anybody getting the upper hand over the Master, right? That's the deliciousness of this. This is like the evil Doctor. I love the Master Chronicles. I'm really glad they're doing another couple of these. Seeking the power of immortality, the Master works himself into the life of Dorian Gray, but can he change how the story ends? Can he indeed? I'll just say that he ends up leaving the land of fiction at the end of this, which isn't a massive spoiler, but just making it an incredibly satisfying four-part miniseries. It's really genuinely satisfying. This one knocks out the park. One of the best, right? Absolutely one of it, if not the best. It really is great. The Shadow Master by Lizzie Hopley is, again, the weakest one, but I wouldn't say that detracts from my recommendation from it. They're all good, right? They are good. I'm still thinking, is it by the guy that did the An American Yankee in King Arthur's Court? That was Mark Twain, wasn't it? I really can't remember where the Shadow Master's from. Not a bad idea, not a bad. Just, again, didn't engage me to the fore. Maybe it's just like everything else in this set was so incredibly good, because it was really good. Scott Hancock, I think, moves away from Big Finish with this box set, and this is a great swan song to end on. It really is. It takes the concept of the series and pushes it somewhere that's really clever, right? Really, really, really clever, and examines it in different ways. Big recommend! My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell. Hit the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.